A 4-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the Lions here, the winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And that win is one to build on. And when you have a chance to make it a second win at home, it's something to explode with. Let's see how they come out of the gate.
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-arm guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
Alone to the right is Jones. Shift together here from the D-line. On first down, Stafford here. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Stafford on first down. And he floated one out there, incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
Second down now after the incompletion. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. He gets it complete to Anquan Bolden. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going. Backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there.
Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. They shakes him off. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Third and long, it's Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be from 56 yards out. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Peterson alone in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A gain of 3, second down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Let's go.
On second down, Peterson. And a cutback right sideline. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adrian Peterson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He completes it to Tate. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On first down at Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. He will not go down.
Have to retape those ankles.
18 yards on the pickup there. And the Lions are going to... have a first. 1st and 10, Stafford. He's got time in the pocket, and that's going to be incomplete. Amir Abdullah, the intended target, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. One receiver left, 3 to the right. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, he got an early chance to redeem himself, and he's able to put that one through.
And he'll be happy he got a second chance so quickly after missing the first one. Now he's got the confidence back up before we even finish the first quarter.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. So here comes a guy, Charles, I think you'd agree. He's getting more comfortable, but he still has some stuff to prove at this level.
Still has things to prove, but the expectation level has really jumped for him. He's shown so much potential along the way. Now people want to know, will he take it to the next level and bring his team along with that?
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Again, Peterson. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
Every time I watch a Lodi Nada play, I just wonder, how do you move this man? And then when he shows his movement ability, look out, quarterbacks.
Three yards left to grab here on third down. Time running out here on the play clock. Third and short yardage. Bridgewater. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Bridgewater on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. A good pickup there at 22. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Let's go.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And this one's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Second down following the incompletion. A second down throw for Bridgewater. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run for it with Peterson. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2.
Holding offense. Still first down.
Bridgewater again. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
And so we have the touchdown now. Here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford surveying the field. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, don't worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
1 quarter in the books. 14-3, that's our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Alone to the right is Jones. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He goes underneath to Abdullah. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The rookie Mackenzie Alexander in there for the tackle.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
Now it's Patterson. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They come out here in the eye. They run again on first down. Peterson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Bridgewater gives to his tailback, Peterson. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Play clock winding down. To throw is Bridgewater. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy. It came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a play fake here on first down. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Let's go. Wide 80.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's brought down after a good game. A big play that time on a catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Let's go. Wide 80. Wide 80.
First down and goal, the offense. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adrian Peterson. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
No gain, and it's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
On second down, here's Stafford. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Throwing is Bridgewater, and the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Peterson alone in the backfield. They'll get the football here. And a short gain here down to the 22. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
3rd and short yardage, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that's good. To make it 4th down. So off is Bridgewater, on the kicker Blair Walsh on 4th down. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to the air here after the INT. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And Tate's got it. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
To throw is Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Finding time. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Alone to the right is Jones. Again, it's Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in a second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And it is good. That cuts the lead now to 11, 24, 13 our score. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And they're going to speed things up here. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
Throws right side, and that's complete. A gain of 32 that time. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Let's go. 180.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's second down. Bridgewater off the play fake to McKinnon. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And the lead is up to 18 now. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Vikings wanted to put last week's game behind them, and they have so far today. The Lions are in a tough spot, but will look to force some mistakes and stay in it. All right, let's do it. Here's a look at the first half highlights. Vikings on 2nd and 7. Peterson's going to cruise off the right side, and he'll take this 51 yards for the score. They'll take the early advantage. Late in the first quarter, the completion will be made on the slant, and it leads to a touchdown. The lead now at 11. Vikings take it at the 1. Peterson's got it on the run, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. Vikings go up by 15. Lions with the ball late in the half. Stafford's got his mark near the sideline, and he capped off the long drive with the touchdown. Lions down by 11. Still a little time left on the clock. Pass will be completed over the middle, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. That takes the lead up to 18.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Peterson alone in the backfield. First down, Bridgewater. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And Rudolph has it left side. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They'll get 19 yards there, and it'll be first down Lions.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
To throw is Stafford. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Lions defense now back onto the field. And they forced that fumble the last time. And when it happens on a previous drive, you kind of get thirsty for it to happen again.
No doubt about it, because the person who created the turnover or the takeaway, he's getting the gold star. He's going to be the one we look at in film session and go, way to go. Everybody wants that praise from the coach. That means the next time out, you want it to be you.
Do they still hand out gold stars?
You know, amazingly enough, it's the simple things in life that motivate these guys.
A sticker, just a little
That's
gold
it,
sticker.
a little helmet sticker in college.
Yeah, put it on your fridge.
Put a little gold sticker on their scouting sheet. Things like that. They love that stuff.
Makes them feel good.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. The left side caught by Diggs. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
Let's go. 180.
And again, it's Bridgewater. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tahir Whitehead in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. On third down, Bridgewater. That's caught by Treadwell. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Gonna throw right side here, complete. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. This will be caught at the 2. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point try now for Walsh. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now a play fake and it's Stafford. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adrian Peterson, his third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and he's got him in the lead. And he's got it up and through. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. Man, a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. Now the interception for them the last time, and that turned into 6 points.
You think during their break they reminded the offense that, hey, we helped you guys out a little bit, right? You know, they want to see if they can do it again for them. They're putting together an entire team game by how they're playing on defense.
So the interception the last drive, what will happen here? It's caught, left side, Bolden. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll be first down, Detroit.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's brought down. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Detroit first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. On first down, Abdullah. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Infraction, defense.
Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards. Alone to the right is Jones. To throw on second down is Stafford. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I think slowly but surely, Theo Riddick is getting his due as a complete NFL back, especially when you emphasize his catching the football.
Boy, he can catch it. 2015 tied for the NFL lead, 80 receptions. Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So another 3 on the board there, and he's been a lone bright spot here. That's now 4 field goals.
And that's nice, but if this offense had finished a few more drives, we might be looking at a completely different ball game. Instead, when you're trading field goals for touchdowns, that's a losing proposition.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Peterson alone in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 5 yards left for the offense. It's second down.
4 down, 4 down. Check. 4 down, 4 down. Set. 180. 59 Mike.
They run again with Peterson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Bridgewater got a man over the middle, and it's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
A really nice read by the offense. They caught the defense not covering the middle of the field, went to the post route, and found the receiver wide open for a nice gain.
The play clock's running down. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Steps away to his left. And he rifles one incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll make it second and 10. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Throwing again, Bridgewater on second and 10. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Here's Drew Kaiser now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And they've got the lead. Last time they surrendered the field goal. We'll see what they do this go-around.
And giving up 3 is never ideal because any defense wants to pitch a shutout. But that's not a bad thing in most situations. You only give up field goals, your team has a chance to win.
Yeah, and they still, as I said, they've got the lead here. We'll see if they can get a stop and hold them to 0 points this time. He was looking for Theo Riddick there. And it'll be second and 10.
Before that last pass, 2 interceptions had already been thrown. And this last one tipped in the air, which means everyone on defense is almost fighting each other in order to get to the football to try and make it a third. Once you've thrown a couple, it's almost like a swarm of bees going after the ball. And in this case, they weren't able to get there before it fell to the ground.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. It only took Stafford 90 games to hit 25,000 yards in his career, fastest ever, and he adds to that yardage total there.
I'm not sure anyone in the league has a more confident arm than Matthew Stafford does. He can wait until they're actually open before delivering as opposed to anticipating them being open because of the strength of his arm, and he doesn't mind showing it off.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. So the D-line's going to spread out. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. To the right side to Eric Ebron. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On first down, Stafford here. Ebron's got it. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
He goes underneath to Abdullah. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This is a screen to Abdullah. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it's a second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Back to throw, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there. They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
A lot of times, as AP goes, so goes the team. He's done well. The team's done well.
And usually when he does that well, other people do in addition, because now you can open up other things in your offense. But the bottom line is he is option number one, and that's usually their best option. Just absolutely can brutalize a defense.
Time running out here on the play clock. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Bridgewater a give. This is Peterson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They come up in an offset eye. They run the counter now. It's Peterson. Penalty marker is down here. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
Holding offense.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Start right there.
They come out here in the eye. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3. And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Play clock winding down. Now Bridgewater. And he's able to find Diggs. A gain of 8 and a first down. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And off comes to Peterson. And able to work his way down to the 16. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Carry number 20 now for Peterson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And it's 1st and goal now, but still 10 yards to go. Peterson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game. Brandon, you identified early that this game looked like it was going to be lopsided in favor of the winning team.
And then late in this one, you and I, we were digging at stuff, weren't we, to talk about, partner?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I think we brought up statistics from somewhere around circa 1927-28, hoping we could keep people going in this one.
Deep in the annals for this blowout win. So for Minnesota, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Lions, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.